Are you ready for your exams? Let's start with this quote. Don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. Preparing for the written exam. Have a planned, realistic study schedule. Let's take a look at the next 24 hours. Are you more focused in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or late at night? Read your content carefully and become an active studier. Take effective notes during class and organize them. Do you like taking notes on Post-its, in a notebook? Do you like to record in class? Do you like to organize your notes listing them? Bubble map? Whichever method is going to work for you, that's what you want to stick to. Develop a detailed vocabulary list. This right here is so important. Knowing your terms and knowing your definitions are really key to passing your exam. Sometimes when we read a question, we're not sure how to answer it because it may be a word in the question that we may not understand. In our answer choice selection, there may be some words that we do not know the definitions of and we do not understand, so therefore we're unable to select the correct answer of those multiple choice questions. So keeping a detailed vocabulary list is really, really important. So make sure you know all your terms and definitions to prepare for your exam. Review past quizzes and tests. Very important as well. When we review our past quizzes and tests, this is going to create an area of focus. And that area of focus is going to reveal your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to preparing for your exam. Do you need more exposure in a certain area? That's why it's very important to review your past tests. Listen carefully in class for cues and clues. Remember, the most important strategy of test taking is knowing your material. What you know is what you know, and what you don't know is what you have to study. Make yourself mentally ready and develop a positive attitude towards test taking. Now, we all know when it is time to take an exam, we get a little anxious, maybe a little fear sets in, some little anxiety sets in, and it's very, very challenging to have a positive attitude. But we have to be the cheerleader. We have to cheer ourselves on, and we have to have confidence in ourselves that we are going to pass this exam. Get plenty of rest the night before. Dress comfortably and professionally. Anticipate some anxiety. We're all a little anxious before a test because we don't know if we're going to pass or if we're going to fail. So make sure that we prepare properly and stay committed to our schedule so that we can pass our exam. Avoid cramming the night before. It's the difference between skimming the night before versus cramming the night before. Cramming means that we just did not stick to that realistic study schedule. Do a test drive to the test site before your exam. Just in case, if there's some traffic, you may need to take a detour. So knowing exactly where your test site is really important. If you have a physician documented disability, complete the form on a candidate information bulletin and submit to PSI. If you have modifications in school, if you need longer than the time allotted to take your exam, or if you would like to have an oral reader, that is the purpose of completing the form. Tips for coping with exam anxiety. Be prepared early. Set up a study schedule at least 2 weeks before your exam. When you are eligible to schedule your exam, please schedule it 2 weeks or less. If we schedule our exam 2 weeks or more further out, studying does get boring. So remember, 2 weeks or less. 1 week is ideal, but not more than 2 weeks. Sleep well. Maintaining a regular sleep schedule helps reduce stress and increase performance. Normally, the day before the test or the night before the test, anxiety sets in. Sometimes we just cannot get to sleep or get back on our regular schedule, especially if it's a couple of days before. So what do you do to get to sleep at a regular scheduled time? Do you have a nice cup of tea, a half a glass of wine? Do you work out? Do you meditate? Do you do yoga, some type of stretching? Do you take a run or a walk before it is time to settle down for the night? Keep the same caffeine and sugar intake. Greatly increasing either of these substances can actually impair brain functioning by throwing off your body's metabolism. So if you're a coffee drinker, whatever amount of cups that you drink during the day, just keep it the same. If you like soda, if you drink tea, if you go to Starbucks on a regular basis, just keep this in mind about your caffeine and sugar intake. Learn relaxed breathing. When you get stressed, taking some slow, relaxed breaths can help you think clearly again. Now, there's a breathing technique that someone shared with me a while ago. They shared to inhale on 4, hold for 2, exhale on 8. Inhale on 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, exhale on 8. Do that 3 times and you'll get enough oxygen to your brain prior to your exam. The next time you second guess yourself, remember that your first thought was most likely the right thought. So go with it. Go with your gut. The last thing that we want to happen for you at your exam is that you are sitting in front of the computer second guessing yourself. All the resources that we have for you will help you to confirm and prepare that you can definitely go with your gut. So first guess yourself. 20 minutes. 20 minutes is the key to preparing for your exam. If you have an hour to prepare for your exam, that hour is going to consist of 2 20-minute sessions. You want to take a break in between those sessions. Now, I am not totally focused at 20 minutes. I am a 12 to 15-minute person. If I have an hour to prepare for my exam, that's going to be 3 15-minute sessions for me. Set your timer on your phone. Once your timer goes off, get up and do something like an energizer and then go to your next session. It is also suggested to study different topics during the hour that you have set a time for your test preparation as well. So remember, 20 minutes, or if you're like me, 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes or every 20 minutes. On test day, make sure you schedule your exam on the time of day that you are focused. If you're focused more in the morning, make sure you schedule your test in the morning. If you're more focused in the afternoon, make sure you schedule your test in the afternoon. If you're more focused in the evening, make sure you schedule your test in the evening. Eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snack before your exam. Not the whole buffet, but just enough to take the edge off. Relax, try to slow down physically, lightly review the material. So play a quick Kahoot, Quiz-Izz, Quizlet, ProPuff's quiz right before your exam. Activate the dopamine in your brain. Arrive early with a self-confident attitude. Be alert, calm, and ready for the challenge. So you are your biggest cheerleader, so cheer yourself on. I got this. I'm going to pass this test. Bring the required documentation. Make sure it has your printed name, photo, signature, date of birth, and expiration date. During the test, if possible, skim the test before beginning. Budget your time. Do not spend too much on any one question. Begin as soon as possible. Mark the answers in the test carefully but quickly. Answer the easiest questions first in order to save time for the difficult ones. So this is really important. Maximizing the time that the brain is being completely focused. So remember those times, the 15 minutes and the 20 minutes. Utilize that time effectively by going through your entire test and answering the questions that you know first. And then you want to go back and answer the questions that you don't know. Quick scanning prior may clue you in. If you don't know the answer, mark it and immediately go to the next question. That way, when you get to the end of your test, you can go back and answer all the ones that you've marked. Read each question carefully to make sure you know exactly what the question is asking. Read each question twice Eliminate the two that don't belong. Read the question again. The answer is always in the question. What's great about your exam is that it is in multiple choice format, which means that the answer is there. We just have to figure out what the correct answer is. Read the entire question carefully. Eliminate the two that don't belong. They're called distractors. Look for the best answer. When two choices are close or similar, one of them is probably right. When two choices are identical, both must be wrong. When two choices are opposite, one is probably wrong and one is probably correct. Pay special attention to words such as not, except, and but. The answer to one question may be the stem of another question. And remember, what you know is what you know, is what you don't know is what you have to study. And please do not try to memorize any wording of questions from the study material that you are using. If you try to memorize any of that information, you will fail your exam. I repeat, if you try to memorize any wording of the questions, you will fail your exam. You are tested on content and content only. So if you want to pass your exam, exposure to content is the key, and knowing your terms and definitions is also the key as well. May the universe work in your favor. Good luck on your exams.